One, I have to facilitate. I have to be full on facilitating. I almost never tell my participants that they have to own their experience or do something in a certain way. It's my job as the facilitator to help that person come back to the present moment, to help that person change what they just said into an I statement. So yes, it's their intentions, but there's nothing worse than sitting in a circle where everyone's feeling criticized and judged because they didn't say the sentence the right way, okay? That's the opposite of opening up a group space. You're just shutting everyone down, and now you're having to work with everyone's fight flight response engaged. You don't want to work in a circle where everyone's fight flight response is engaged. You want to work in a circle where everyone's rest and relaxation response is engaged, or whatever it is on the vagus nerves, dorsal, I can't remember. Sharing impact. Don't tell people to share impact. You strategically get people to share impact by facilitating the sharing of their impact, because it can just hurt when people have the impact that's shared. Checking reality. You facilitate checking the reality of something being true so that you can facilitate that whole process. Don't get everyone to just randomly say, actually, that's not true. Okay, it's not skillful. Yes, of course, that's one of the most powerful parts of circling, but you as a facilitator are way better off facilitating the checking of reality until people are really highly skilled and can do it themselves. 3, if you've already got people in really high stress states, more awareness of what parts of their body, the deconstructive aspects of what parts of their body hurt, or what emotions they're having, or what thoughts they're thinking, that just amplifies it, okay? It puts them more into fight flight. So if you've got folks that are already struggling or are prone to high anxiety, do not bring them to body awareness. What you want to bring them to is their breath. Okay, not the tightness in their chest, their breath. And then the other thing that you can bring them to is the awareness of the outside world. Okay, oh yeah, I'm seeing how the light shines in and is reflecting. Oh, I see the shapes of the stained glass windows. Put their attention on the beauty of something outside, or the simplicity, colors, shapes, light, shadow, okay? Rain, sound, or bring them back to their breath. Don't deconstruct even further. Where are you feeling tension? Where are you feeling this, okay? That's valuable, but people need to be in a restful state. If they're already heightened, it's just gonna make it worse, and it's gonna confuse the shit out of you as a facilitator. I've already talked about priming in a different video, but I'll say it here. When you're opening a circle, how you open it primes people to have a certain disposition towards what they're noticing, okay? Do your best to prime people towards a state of equilibrium and awareness and inviting all that's in as this beautiful dance of unfolding. Don't prime them towards accidentally emphasizing, oh yeah, and you can yell in this space, or oh yeah, you can do anything you want, even if you're angry, just express that, okay? Because priming means you're putting your awareness towards what you've been primed towards. So if you prime people towards their negative emotions, their fears, their irritations, their conflicts with someone else in the group, that's what's going to be in the forefront, okay? And you as a facilitator are going to have to deal with that. And most people are not actually skilled enough to deal with that, particularly if they're starting out. Have some sort of emotional processing practice for after emotional deconstruction. I come from bioemotive, that's the way I do it, but there's other practices you can do as well. When stuff comes up in a circle and charge gets built, but it doesn't get tended to, or someone is recognizing a projection they have, if they don't have an emotional processing tool to recognize why they're having that projection or why they're having such a huge response, stuff again can be really, really intense. So you don't want to dive into that necessarily in the circle, but after the circle, have people write down, is there anything that's feeling unfinished for you? If it's feeling unfinished, try, in my case, a biomotive process. What core feeling is being triggered and activated? What is that bringing up from your history if you have a safe space to go to that depth? The other great practice that I use is, what is it in them that I'm rejecting in myself? Okay? So I find it really effective to have people reflect afterwards what is going on. Have people reflect afterwards if there's something that's unfinished or that they can't seem to let go of, or is still keeping a charge in the body. Write it down. Biomotive, what core feeling is there? Where does that come from? What's its source? Is it true? All of that. And are there projections here? Is there something in them that I'm rejecting, that I'm actually rejecting in myself, that I need to invite space for in myself in order to be okay with them? And let them release that charge. Then, once you've done that personal work, you might have some residual stuff that you can then contact that person or the facilitator and say, hey, I have some residual stuff between us. Can we unpack it? Okay? Really, really important and useful. So I think these are the key pieces of advice that I have for those of you who are starting a new community to be aware of. And please reach out to me if you're wanting to pick my brain on any of this, because I am so very passionate about it. And I'm really passionate about creating spaces that people are signing up for to attend. So making sure that what's safe for this person may include what's dangerous for that person, creating containers that properly accommodate those different needs, and that people are stepping in. You know, a black belt is stepping in with other black belts. We don't have a white belt stepping in with an orange belt, and the orange belt is too foolish to recognize they're an orange belt and not a black belt, and they end up, slamming that white belt on the ground, and then the white belt is like, I'm in so much pain. And then the orange belt is like, yeah, but we're in a dojo, we're supposed to be fighting. It's like, well, yeah, but this person is not ready at all to do any of the work that you're doing, all right? And you're still young enough on your path that you don't realize it yet. Anyways, I really digress.